Sunday is everything what Arsenal must do to beat Man City and keep the title dream alive. Hey, Olivia Sports Arsenal family, pull up a chair, get your tea or your coffee or whatever you drink when the football nerves kick in, because we need to have a real conversation today. Sunday is coming, Arsenal are heading to the Etihad. The Premier League title is still sitting right there waiting to be claimed. And this game, this one specific Sunday afternoon game, could be the one that decides whether we are still talking about Arsenal as genuine champions in May or whether we are talking about what went wrong. This is not me being dramatic. This is the reality of where we are right now. And here at Olivia Sports Arsenal, we do not sugarcoat things for each other. We talk about it honestly, we break it down together, and then we believe in our team. So let us get into it. Everything you need to know before Sunday. The injuries, the tactics, the big decisions Arteta has to make, and the questions that only you, this community, can answer. Where did things go a bit wobbly before we look forward? Let us be honest about what has happened recently, because you deserve a clear picture, not a vague pep talk. Arsenal have had a rough few weeks. There is no other way to say it. It started with the Carabao Cup final, Arsenal against Manchester City, and Arsenal lost 2-0. That was painful. That was the kind of result that sits with you for days, not just because of the scoreline, but because of what it meant for the belief in the squad going into the business end of the season. Then came the FA Cup exit. Southampton knocked Arsenal out. Southampton, it was a shock. Nobody really saw it coming. And with it went any chance of the quadruple that some of us had been quietly daring to dream about. That dream disappeared faster than we would have liked. Then came Bournemouth in the Premier League, another loss. And suddenly the doubts started to creep in. The questions got louder. Is Arsenal mentally strong enough to hold on in this title race? Are they running out of steam at exactly the wrong moment? Meanwhile, Manchester City have been doing what Manchester City do, relentless, focused. They have lost just one domestic game in the entire year of 2026. One. That is the kind of consistency that makes them so dangerous and so hard to stop. But here is what I want this community to hold on to. Arsenal are still in this race. The points are still there. The gap is still there. And now we have a chance to look City directly in the eye and answer all the doubters in the best way possible on the pitch on Sunday. Are you still believing? I hope you are, because this story is not over yet. The injury situation, what we know and what we are hoping for, right? Let us talk injuries, because the team news this week is complicated and it is going to shape a lot of what happens on Sunday. The one name everyone is asking about is Bukayo Saka. Saka has not played for Arsenal since March 22nd. That was the Carabao Cup final. The injury is called Achilles tendinopathy. Now that sounds scary, but let me put it simply. It is a problem with the tendon at the back of his ankle. It is the kind of injury that you cannot rush. If you bring a player back too soon with this kind of thing, you risk turning a few weeks out into a few months out. Arteta himself spoke about it this week. He said Saka has been carrying this issue for a while, that it is an Achilles problem, and that hopefully it will be days rather than weeks before he is back. But he was very careful to say that Saka needs to show how his body responds when his training gets more intense before any decision is made. So what does that mean in plain language? It means nobody knows yet. He has not been ruled out for Sunday, but he needs to step things up in training over the next couple of days and prove his body can handle it. If he cannot do that, he will not be risked. And that would be a really significant blow, because Saka is not just a good player. For Arsenal, he is the player. He is the one who opens everything up. He is the one defenders genuinely fear. Losing him for the biggest league game of the season would hurt badly. Then there is Noni Madueke. He came into the team recently as a replacement for Saka and did well. But in the Champions League quarter-final second leg against Sporting CP, he had to come off in the second half with a knee problem. Now, the early signs are cautiously positive. He did not go down the tunnel for treatment. He stayed on the pitch and joined the team for their lap of appreciation at the end. That suggests it might not be too serious, but you cannot be completely sure until the medical staff have properly checked everything. And then there is some brighter news. Riccardo Calafiori, the Italian left-back, has been dealing with an injury recently, but people close to the player have been saying he could be in contention to return for the City game. If he comes back and is fit, it gives Arteta more options, particularly down the left side. And as you are about to find out, what happens down the left side is actually very important for how Arsenal might want to play on Sunday. So to bring all of that together, Saka is a doubt. Madueke is uncertain. Calafiori might just be back in time. Arteta has a lot of big calls to make before the team news comes out. How are you feeling about the injury situation? Drop a comment and tell the community where your head is at right now. Should Arteta drop Zubimendi? The question dividing Arsenal fans. Now let us get into the football itself. And this is where things get really interesting. Martin Zubimendi came to Arsenal with a huge reputation, a top holding midfielder, calm on the ball, good at protecting the defence, good at helping Arsenal start their attacks cleanly from deep. And for a lot of the season, he has done a decent job. But recently, not so much. Arsenal fans have been getting more and more frustrated with him. He has been losing the ball in bad positions. He has been caught out in European games under pressure. And now, with the biggest Premier League game of the season on the horizon, the question is being asked loudly, should Arteta actually leave him out? Let me explain the specific problem in a way that makes sense, even if you are not someone who spends all day watching tactical breakdowns. When Arsenal build up from the back, meaning when they try to start their attacks from a deep position rather than just kicking the ball long, Zubimendi drops between the two centre-backs. His job is to receive the ball from the goalkeeper and help Arsenal play out carefully from their own half. The problem is what he does when he gets the ball. Zubimendi tends to play it safe. He passes it sideways or backwards. He does not want to turn forward with the ball. He is not comfortable doing that. He would rather keep it simple and not take a risk. And that is a real problem against Manchester City. Here is why. City press in a very organised way when they do not have the ball. Their shape basically has 4 players at the top pressing hard whenever the opposition tries to build from the back. Those 4 players come at Arsenal's defenders and at Zubimendi in the middle. If City press Zubimendi and he just plays it sideways or back to the goalkeeper, nothing happens. Arsenal are stuck. They cannot move forward. They cannot escape their own half. And City's press has worked exactly as they planned. This is not just a theory. It has been happening in Arsenal's recent games. They have genuinely been struggling to play out of their defensive third. And Zubimendi's inability to turn and drive forward with the ball when under pressure is a big part of why. So the suggestion from tactical people who study this game closely is simple. Drop Zubimendi, but only if Martin Odegaard is fit enough to play. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Odegaard in a deeper midfield role, is that not a bit mad? Stay with me here, because this idea is actually brilliant once you understand it. The Odegaard plan that could unlock this game here is the idea being put forward, and I want to explain it simply because it really is clever. Instead of Zubimendi dropping between the centre-backs to help build attacks, you put Odegaard there. You play him alongside Declan Rice in the centre of midfield, and you have someone like Havertz or Eze in the number 10 role ahead of them. Now, when Arsenal want to play out from the back, instead of Zubimendi dropping in awkwardly, Odegaard slides into the left side of the defence. Gabriel, the centre-back, moves into the middle. The left-back then inverts, meaning he moves into the midfield area rather than staying wide. What you have suddenly created is a midfield diamond, more passing options, more technically capable players in deeper areas, and crucially, more bodies than City have pressing players. Think about it in the simplest possible way. City send 4 players to press. If Arsenal have more than 4 players able to receive the ball and pass it around, City cannot cover all of them. Arsenal can play through the press. City's shape breaks open, and then Arsenal are in business. And if City press even more aggressively, you can push goalkeeper David Raya into the back line too. Now you have 6 Arsenal players against City's 4 pressing players. That is an overload that City simply cannot handle. The player comparison being made for this Odegaard role is Vitinha from PSG. He does something similar for Paris Saint-Germain. He drops deep and helps build attacks with excellent technical skill and calmness under pressure. Other examples include Joshua Kimmich doing it for Bayern Munich and Jude Bellingham doing it for Real Madrid. The best teams in Europe are using technically gifted players in these kinds of deeper hybrid roles to beat organised presses. Odegaard has the quality to do this. He is comfortable on the ball. He can turn with it. He can find passes in tight spaces. He does not panic when someone closes him down. That is exactly the kind of player Arsenal need in the middle when City compresses. But again, the whole thing depends on whether Odegaard is actually fit and ready to do this. If he is not available, Arteta either has to find a different solution or keep Zubimendi and hopes things go better than they have been recently. What do you think, Olivia Sports Arsenal community? Is this Odegaard plan something you would love to see Arteta try on Sunday? Or does it feel too risky for a game this big? Tell us in the comments. The Shirky problem that nobody is talking about enough. Everyone in the football world is focused on Erling Haaland. And yes, of course, you have to worry about Haaland. He is one of the most dangerous goal scorers on the planet, and William Saliba is going to have a massive job keeping him quiet. But there is another City player who could actually cause Arsenal even more trouble, and not enough people are talking about him. His name is Rayan Cherki. Cherki is a young French attacking player, and he plays in a very unusual way. He starts the game on the right wing, but he does not stay there. He drifts across the whole pitch. He pops up in different areas, he floats into central positions, drifts out to the opposite side with Jeremy Doku, disappears for a moment and then appears in exactly the wrong place for the defender who was supposed to be watching him. This kind of movement is genuinely very hard to defend against because the question becomes who is responsible for him, which Arsenal player follows him when he moves. And if nobody follows him, he gets time and space in dangerous areas, and that is when he becomes really dangerous. A lot of modern teams defend by having each player mark one specific opponent. That works fine when attackers stay roughly where you expect them, but Shirky does not stay where you expect him. He is the free role player, he creates confusion, and confusion leads to goals. The solution that makes the most sense is giving one specific Arsenal player the job of shadowing Shirky throughout the entire match, not chasing him all the way into City's half. That would be exhausting and would leave gaps. But specifically, anytime Shirky comes back into Arsenal's half, that Arsenal player goes with him immediately. That becomes their most important job. The most logical person for this role is whoever starts at left back. If Calafiori is fit, it could be him. The defensive structure around that then adjusts. Saliba sticks to Haaland. Gabriel shifts wider to deal with City's remaining wide threats when Shirky has drifted away from his normal position. Is it a perfect plan? No. There is no perfect plan against a player as talented and unpredictable as Cherki, but having a clear plan is so much better than not having one and just hoping someone deals with him. Arsenal cannot afford to let Cherki float free on Sunday. What do you think about Cherki? Have you been watching him this season? Do you think he is the most dangerous player Arsenal will face on Sunday, or is it still all about Haaland for you? Declan Rice needs to be massive. Let us take a moment to talk about one of our own who we absolutely need to show up on Sunday, Declan Rice. Rice has been one of Arsenal's best and most consistent players all season long. He works incredibly hard, he wins the ball, he covers enormous amounts of ground, he breaks up City attacks, and he has also shown this season that he can contribute in an attacking sense too, getting forward and arriving late to get on the score sheet from midfield. In a game like Sunday, Rice is going to be a huge part of everything. If Arsenal want to play through City's press using the Odegaard idea or any other approach, Rice needs to be the anchor. He needs to be everywhere defensively while also being available as a passing option when Arsenal want to start attacks. He also has to stay disciplined. City's central midfielders are clever players and they will try to drag Rice out of position, create space in behind him and find the gaps. Rice has to resist those temptations, stay where he needs to be and keep Arsenal organised in the middle. But Rice has shown all season that he loves these big moments. He is the kind of player who gets better when the stakes are higher. And on Sunday, the stakes do not get much higher than this. Why this is Arteta's biggest moment as Arsenal manager here is something that I think about a lot as someone who watches Arsenal closely and writes about them for this community. Mikel Arteta is a genuinely very smart manager. He has built Arsenal into title contenders over the last few years. He has brought in excellent players. He has created a system that the whole squad believes in, and he has delivered some truly memorable performances and results along the way. But this week and this Sunday in particular might be the biggest test he has faced since taking over at Arsenal, because it is one thing to build a good team. It is a completely different thing to make the exact right calls in the exact right moments when everything is on the line. And right now, almost every decision Arteta makes this week matters. Does he drop Zubimendi, the player he has trusted all season, in that midfield role? Does he use Odegaard in this new deeper position that nobody has seen him play before? Does he commit a full back to shadowing Cherki for 90 minutes? Does he risk Saka if he is not fully fit, knowing that losing him for the rest of the season would be a disaster? None of these questions have an obvious right answer. They are all judgment calls. They require courage, they require trust in your players, and they require the willingness to be bold, even when playing it safe feels more comfortable. One thing is very clear though. If Arsenal play cautiously, if they sit back, if they struggle to get out of their own half like they have in some recent games, City will punish them. Pep Guardiola does not need much of an invitation to take over a game. Give City space and time and they will make you pay. Arsenal have to be brave on Sunday. They have to trust the plan, execute it with confidence and go to the Etihad believing they can win. What a win would actually mean. Let us stop for a second and really think about what a win on Sunday would mean, not just in terms of points, but in terms of everything. If Arsenal go to the Etihad on Sunday and come away with 3 points, the title race swings back heavily in their direction. They prove to themselves and to everyone watching that the difficult run of recent weeks has not broken them. They prove that they can beat the best team in the country on their own ground when the pressure is at its highest. The effect of that on the dressing room, on the supporters, and on the remaining games of the season would be enormous. Football is as much about psychology and belief as it is about tactics and technical quality. And right now, Arsenal need a result that gives the belief a real boost. A result that makes the whole squad feel the title is genuinely theirs to win. A win does not guarantee the title. There will still be games after Sunday, but it would put Arsenal back in control. And in a title race, control is everything. A message for the Olivia Sports Arsenal community. This community has been growing and we love every single one of you who reads, comments, shares, and supports what we do here at Olivia Sports Arsenal. And right now, I want to say something directly to you. If you are feeling nervous about Sunday, that is completely normal. If the last few weeks have tested your belief a little bit, that is also completely normal. Every Arsenal fan who cares deeply is going through that right now. But this squad has quality. Real quality, even with the injuries, even with the cup exits, even with the difficult results. The core of this Arsenal team is genuinely good enough to win the Premier League. They have shown that all season long. That does not just disappear because of a rough few weeks. Arteta will not panic. He is not a manager who loses his head when things get hard. He will have spent this week working carefully on the game plan. He will have thought through every scenario. He will have something up his sleeve. And if Saka comes back, if Calafiori is fit, if Odegaard can step into that new deeper role and unlock City's press, then we have a team full of match winners ready to write something special on Sunday. Believe in them. They need us too. Questions for the community before Sunday. We want to hear from every single one of you before the big game. So here are the questions we are asking this week. Drop your answers in the comments and let us have a proper discussion. 1. Do you think Arteta should drop Zubimendi for this game, or does he keep faith with him? 2. The Odegaard deeper role idea, love it or think it is too risky for a game this big? 3. How do you think Arsenal should deal with Cherki? Man mark him or a different approach? 4. Is Saka fit enough to risk even if he is not at 100%? And 5, most importantly, what is your prediction for Sunday? Be honest with us. This is your community, your space. Get your thoughts in and let us talk about it together before the game. One last thing before Sunday. Every season has a moment, a game that you look back on later and say, that was it. That was the day things changed. That was the turning point we were waiting for. Sunday at the Etihad could be exactly that for Arsenal this season. All the nervousness of the last few weeks, the cup exits, the Bournemouth result, the injury worries, all of it fades away if Arsenal can go to City's ground and get the job done. All of it becomes part of the story of how Arsenal won the title, the difficult spell they came through before the big moment arrived. And here at Olivia Sports Arsenal, we will be watching every single minute of it together, feeling every tackle, celebrating every chance, living through every nervous moment in the second half when the clock feels like it is barely moving, because that is what football does to us, and that is why we love it. Come on, Arsenal. Sunday is yours. Go and take it. From all of us here at Olivia Sports Arsenal, we are with you every step of the way.